First off, you don't run nothing. All talking, no true nothing. My squad, we all dream crushing. Big crushing, no discussion. All I know is us made for this. Paid for this, yes, we love this. Get it down and I'ma get it right. Get off sight like Get it down and I'ma get it right. Get off sight like and I'ma get it right, get on sight like.
Welcome to my channel. My name is NightCap. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the top 3 legends that you should be picking if you are a new player to the game of Apex Legends. We're going to go into how it is that I came up with these 3 legends specifically, and then we're going to start to break down what their abilities are and how this impacts you during a game. So let's get into it. So let's first talk about how it is that I decided upon these 3 legends specifically. So Apex Legends is a 3-player and a 2-player based battle royale game mode. And I really wanted to think about what was it as my experience when I first started playing Apex. And then 2, what is my responsibility when I pick certain legends to the team, and then what are my teammates expecting to help them win the game when I play specific legends. So I can tell you, as a new player, me personally, I couldn't remember to use my tactical ability. I couldn't remember to even, like I said, I don't even remember what buttons it was for the ultimate ability. So, I think it was just, I felt so overwhelmed by, everything that was so new. I didn't have a lot of experience with battle royale game modes. So it was a lot for me to kind of take in. And I was really just trying to figure this all out, and I felt kind of overwhelmed. So, when a gunfight breaks out, I didn't remember any of these things or when to use them. So if that happens to you, that's okay. That's why I've picked 3 specific legends, so that you don't really have to worry about that so much. And then how does that apply to the team aspect of the game? And really, like I said, the 3 legends that I've picked don't have a huge factor in the team aspect of the game, because if you use one of these legends, your teammates, especially if they've been playing for a little while, shouldn't be expecting a whole lot out of you. And that's why I picked these legends specifically. Because if you forget to use the abilities, if you forget to use their ultimate ability, it doesn't have a major impact on what's going to happen in a gunfight, and it really doesn't affect your team as a whole, so that you can kind of just relax. If you forget something, you forget something. It's not a big deal, but that's why I've picked these 3 legends specifically. So let's get into the legends. In our number 3 spot, we have Bloodhound, and Bloodhound is always going to have a special place for me because Bloodhound was the first legend that I ever played. Bloodhound is also the first legend listed, and that's probably how I ended up playing Bloodhound first. So let's get into the abilities. We have the tactical ability, which is going to be Eye of the Allfather, which are going to briefly reveal hidden enemies, traps, and clues throughout structures in front of you. The passive ability is the Tracker, and you're going to be able to see tracks left behind by your foes. And then you have the ultimate ability, which is Beast of the Hunt, going full on sicko mode, enhances your senses, allowing you to move faster and highlighting your prey. This is going to change your field of view for you a little bit. You're going to obviously move faster. You're going to be able to see enemies from farther away because they're highlighted. This is great for maneuvering through the map, getting information, seeing where teams are, especially on rotations. Bloodhound is a great character, very strong legend in the game, still used in the competitive scene, so definitely a very good character to play. Now, maybe a little bit controversial in this pick, but when I kind of compared Bloodhound versus some of the other legends, I still think Bloodhound deserves to be in this number 3 spot because, again, if you forget to use the ultimate, it's really not make or break. I would say the most that another teammate's going to want to lean on you for is going to be the tactical, and that's going to be the scans that you might want. So just keep in mind, if you are playing Bloodhound, your teammates are probably going to want those scans, but again, not 100% make or break for some of the other legends abilities in the game. But again, Bloodhound is a great character, very fun to play, especially when you're in the Beast of the Hunt. In our number 2 spot, we have Octane, and Octane is a mobility character. So let's get into what those are. His tactical ability is the Stim, and that's going to allow you to move 30% faster for 6 seconds at the cost of some health. However, his passive ability is the Swift Mend, and that's going to automatically restore health over time for you. And his ultimate ability is the launch pad, which you're going to be able to deploy a jump pad that catapults teammates through the air. Now, when you use the jump pad, you can either walk onto the jump pad, which will send you higher into the air, or if you slide onto the jump pad, that'll actually send you on a lower, further arc, so you can cover more distance. So 2 ways to use that. Also, don't forget that you have the double jump feature in there. Now, Octane, again, a very mobile character, very, very fun to play. However, it's not a make or break if you forget to use his abilities, especially as a teammate. I don't really expect a whole lot out of you. So again, like I said, if you forget to use them, it's not really going to impact the fight all that much for us in a game. However, once you become really good at Octane, he can be very, very useful because he's great for maneuvering around the map, getting up to places that you might not be able to get with other legends. Again, he can maneuver in and out of fights very quickly, which is good. And then obviously he's going to be able to restore some of his health over time. So if you're low on meds, that's really going to help you. And then you also have your stim. Now, if you can learn how to stim strafe, it's kind of a nightmare for enemies because he's very, very hard to hit. So again, Octane can be a very powerful character. He's really a great introduction, like I said, into some of the more advanced movements that Apex Legends offers, and I think that you're really going to enjoy playing him. Last but not least, occupying our #1 spot, the lover of pork chops himself, Mirage. His tactical ability is the Psych Out, which will send out a holographic decoy to confuse the enemy. And keep an eye out for the prompt on the decoy, because when you hit that prompt, it'll actually mirror your exact movements, making that decoy look a lot more realistic. His passive ability is the Now You See Me, which will automatically cloak when using respawn beacons and reviving teammates. When you are reviving a teammate, the audio portion will still be available even though you are invisible. And when you're at a respawn beacon, you'll be invisible, as well as when your teammate who is respawn will be invisible for a brief period of time. And his ultimate ability is the Life of the Party, which will deploy a team of decoys to distract enemies. And a buff for Season 8, all of his decoys now have footstep noises, so it'll make it a lot harder to decipher who the actual Mirage is when they all go off. And our #1 reason why he is the legend that I believe that you should be playing as a new player to Apex Legends is because out of all the other legends, he is, as your teammate, I expect the least out of you than any other legend. His ability kit is very selfish and mostly benefits himself for the most part. So I do not really need you as a Mirage or your abilities as something as I am relying on as a teammate of yours. So with that being said, you can relax if you forget to use his abilities. It's really no big deal. Have fun. Enjoy the game. Once you start to kind of get a feel, especially for Mirage, his ultimate ability is super strong because those decoys, really hard to figure out who the heck the real Mirage is, like I said. So it can be very strong. And he is still a fun character to play. He's got great voice lines. He's not going to be the most competitive legend, but he is a fun legend nonetheless. He's who I believe that you should be playing because this way you don't have to worry about any responsibility to your teammates or what you're going to bring to that team aspect because, like I said, his ability kit mostly affects himself. So get out there, play the game, play some Mirage, try the other 2 characters, go into the firing range, get an idea of how the game supposed to work. Like I said, do the tutorial if you haven't. Go in there and try some different things out, especially if you want to try some new legends and get used to their mechanics as well. That's a great place to do it. But I really hope you guys enjoy the game. If you found this information helpful to you, please be sure to leave a like on the video. Leave any questions or comments down below for me, and I will see you in the next video.
Right, then I'll fight like never really know when you're gonna go. Right here, bury them toes, carry them close. I was never one to care about my mentos. I was like froze, now I'm water. Give me that smoke, but I can't get high. We do the most, here to inspire. You don't wanna suppose, but I can't get tired. Run for your life every night. See in the dark, blind by the light. I got the spark, I got the pipes. All of my arts coming to life. Had to face my fears while I chase my peers, and I found my spot. Felt time that I found myself. I'm out here walking that walk. Like, don't we don't run nothing. All talking, your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is I was made for this. Paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like. First off, you don't run nothing. All talking, your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is I was made for this. yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like.
Down,
Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like. Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like.